morning. Good morning, Tena. Welcome to another session of Just a Podcast. As always, your host with the mostest. They call me Timothy. And today is a beautiful day out here. And I hope you had a good night. I had a good night too. And I'm hoping that the day, as it goes by, and like you are better, though baridi ndio mob, but we'll push on. We are survivors, man. We are survivors. Tunajua how to survive. We are Kenyans. Wherever you are, I'd like to shout out to you as you go on about your daily activities and pushing on your ambitions, maze. Go for it, maze. Put whatever work it's needed. Have fun. And in whatever you do, man, may you bloom with God's glory. Welcome to another session. Today, we tackle about habits. I'm not going to take long. I don't know much about habits, but I hope out there mtanisaidia, by leaving your comments below and your questions, whatever concerns that you have, so that we could get to talk, we could get to converse and know a little bit about each other, and also get to share our differences and find out our similarities. That's all about this session. And also, if you feel like there's something that's bringing you down, you need to talk about it too. Maybe it's something that affects the millennials mostly nowadays. We can talk about that. We can talk about that and find a solution. That being said, our social media handles remain the same. I feel like nimezoea hiyo habit ya kuintroduce our social media platforms, every time I do a new session. Is it a habit? Do you think it's a habit? Thinking that if it's a habit, do you think it's a good habit or a bad habit? Positive or negative? I don't know what to say. I don't know how to call it, but relating to a topic of the day. Habits. What is a habit? What is your understanding on a habit? My own understanding, first and foremost, of a habit is something, it's not something that you get into, but it's something that grows in you. Somehow it's genetical, but you find out at times it's adaptive. People get to adapt to a certain habit, and these habits you conform into boxes, and you start feeling like you need to fit into this or fit into that. You feel like something is missing when you're not part of something, because you think like I really need to do this in order to be pictured as this or that. So, what is your own understanding of a habit? Leave your comments below, and we'll get back to you. Talking of a habit, there are many types of habits. For example, I'll just give a single example. There are go-getters out there. You need to a habit. That guy is a go-getter. Say anatakaga tu akue always in motion, always doing something, always achieving, always making himself or herself or the family proud of him or her every now and then. So and I get stuck into that perfectionist attitude, and then it slowly grows, and you find at times if something happens along the way, you find out that that guy anaanza kuswitch tena. Like we used to learn with some guy alikuwa always at his best, doing what is supposed of him. He was a good guy. That's all I can say. He was a good guy, but somehow life is tricky. Ukapata sometimes in life akaanza kuchange slowly, akaanza kuwa attracted to the other side of the sasa akaanza kuacha the habits that alikuwa anajua. So akaanza kuwa somehow he's an outgoing guy. All of a sudden we with time akaanza kuescalate. So when I look at him these days, I feel like I really don't know this guy. Even though I know him, I really don't know him. Do you believe there are good and bad habits? And if you do believe so, you believe that habits play a part in human life? I do believe they somehow play a part in a human cycle. Kama going back to the example, this guy alikuwa totally influenced by the other side. Yeah. So it's not like alienda into bad habits completely, but somehow alikuwa in a state of suspense. He's stuck between good and bad, so he doesn't know where to go. And in this life, here you must be either good or bad. There's nothing like lukewarm. Even God doesn't like being lukewarm. So do you still believe that habits play a part in human life? I really want you to help me out here as a family. I really want to learn too about habits, because I think hizo ndio vitu zinasumbua watu sana. Some people don't know where they belong. Some people just wamekwama somewhere in between. They adapt on a certain habit and they completely forget from this perspective, from the habits that you've grown into. Can you comfortably say that it's easy to detach from them at any given time? Una feel ni kama you were to quit the habits that you were doing and grow into new habits and different habits, completely different. Do you think it will be easy? Let's say back when we was growing up, we were doing all kind of stuff. You know, kids, you do all type of things. You go experimenting with things, experimenting with drugs, experimenting with girls, riding out there, living life like it was your last day. But then again, there comes a time when we were still going to church. When we got converted, so it's like we start doing things differently and minding each and every step. But you find out that yes, you will confess that I'm converted, I need to do things differently, but that's just you talking and not doing. So actions actually means more, but you find most people still stuck on their old habits. Yeah, they'll say one thing and then you'll find them doing the other. It's not their fault, it's not their mistake, it's just that their old habits. Nilikuwa nasikiza back then, nilikuwa juzi on a radio, nilikuwa I think Hope FM. I was listening to Hope FM in the evening, and there was this lady, she's a presenter. She was saying she can't leave her old habits. She was a Pentecostal back then before she got converted, and hawezi leave hizo behavior zake behind. So every time she's in church. She fellowships at CITAM, Christ is the Answer Ministry. Indio, she worship. She ana worship CITAM. So what she was saying is, every time President worship inakam, alafu inamshika poa, she just goes into a free mode and anaanza kudance around like she used to do while back in Pentecostal. So do you really think getting converted will play a part in her life, in her habits? I think it's like getting converted ilikuwa tu ni kama putting a smoke screen on top, but the real foundation was built on Pentecostal. Karibu sana. Welcome to the second part of this session. I think like everything I do is just a habit. I'm used to doing this. I don't know if I can detach myself from this, but karibu sana. Welcome to the second part of this session. We were talking about habits, and before we went on a break, I was asking you, do you think habits can escalate into addictions, or ni kitu ingine tofauti? Addiction ni kitu tofauti na habits ni kitu tofauti. Because unapata you start something slowly, and with time unafikiria uko poa, and without realization unapata li turn to addiction. Now you can't do without it, and when you are starting it, you are maybe doing it once a week or twice a week, and now you can't do without it. You do it every day, or every hour of every day of every month. Na unajipata you are stuck on such a habit. So personally, I think habits can escalate into addictions if you are not careful. Okay, some addictions are good, some are bad, but an addiction is just an addiction. The end part is just it will leave you in shatters, broken. So once again, do you think habits can escalate addictions? Habits can escalate into addiction, or is it self-willed? Yeah. Let's consider this. Talking about wacha tuchukue like walevi. Yeah. Drunkards. How does a drinking problem start? With the first shot, you feel like I'm still good, I'm okay, I still got mine, najielewa. So umechapa tot this week, or maybe let's say on a Monday, then on Friday una feel, hey, that feeling was wonderful, I need to revive back that feeling, and then you go. Now you won't take a tot, you'll take two tots, or 2 shots. And the other week, so the first week it was Monday, uka feel poor, uka feel fine, so ukaipareka up to Friday. So the other week you find yourself like you're doing it 3 days in a week, 3 days in a row. So, and you're no longer taking a shot or 2 shots, you are just taking several shots. So that's a habit, and it's slowly escalating into an addiction. Since we are kids, we've been told that learning is essential in life. Education is like the key to the future. But you find out, then the same people when you're making education is the key, they are the ones who tells you all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Unapata with time umekuwa nile ulisema, hey, in order for me to pass, I really need to concentrate on my studies. So you started taking more time, reading, learning, getting more knowledge, surrounding yourself with like-minded people, without knowing that you are slowly detaching yourself from social life. So unapata, yes, you'll pass with flying colors. Maybe you'll go out there, upate job fiti, and with time unapata something actually is lacking. It's not, I really wanted to get this, but na feel ni kama there's still something missing. Na kuregain back those years inakuwa a very tough part, because you cannot go back into your adolescent years now that you're an adult. So where's you go back into adolescent days? Because believe me, when you try to go back to adolescent days, what will your kids do? Unapata some big people, some big fathers out there, big mothers, wanna do vitu funny. A woman of age, a respectable lady, a respectable gentleman, unapata anavaa vitu zingine zenye zinafaa vijana wavae, mama anapaka vitu zingine zenye inafaa mademu wapake, hata zingine mademu wapakagi. Why? Because alimisi ile stage in her life that because alikuwa na ile habit ya kusoma, so they thought it was a good habit, but they found out later in life that it snatched something from them. So I really think with habits you really need to balance, because for life to be good you need a balance between the two sides, the left and the right. Habits, part of building blocks of humanity. I was asking, what is that habit in your jayata? Do you feel like there's a habit that slowly grew into addiction and it got you addicted na inakusumbua sana up to now, until you were never introduced to that side? So what is that habit that ujaiacha and you really want to quit? And if you feel like you are stuck on that habit, what can you do to detach yourself? Now, is it possible to survive or live with no habits? Is it possible to survive with no habits? Habits like class, status, like-mindedness, and stuff like that. Do you think it's possible? If you think it's impossible, why do you think it's impossible? Because honestly, I really think it's somehow possible and impossible to live without habits. Considering when you try to isolate yourself and say, okay, I really don't want to get into any habit. Not getting into any habit is a habit. Wow, not getting into any habit is a habit. Habits infested. So it's like life, it's all habitual. Living is also a habit. Living is also a habit. Thinking of not living is a habit. Thinking of dying is a habit. Inasumbua watu wengi. Some people gets to a point where they feel like life is not worth living, and they think about committing suicide. It's not okay. I don't know what to say on that, but it's a habit. Some of them don't actually commit suicide, but some do. So when you picture another person dead, alicommit suicide, then you start thinking vijana siku hizi venye kujiua imekuwa ni kama mtindo, imekuwa ni habit. So every corner of life, every aspect of life, every iota of life is habitual. Yeah, you cannot say I want to detach myself completely from habits unless you realize what your habits are. And even if you realize what your habits are, you cannot completely detach yourself from them, The only thing you can do is try and balance, strike a balance, and have your way out. Yeah. I didn't have much to say today. Actually, I didn't have a topic to discuss. But I decided, while I was just taking a stroll, I thought of an idea. Me taking a stroll back from home to where I go to do my stuff. I like walking most of the time, even when I have cash. Okay, ukiniona, you may think I like doing exercise, but I think it's just another habit. I'm addicted to this habit. And you listening to me even now, it's another habit. You're addicted to this habit. Yeah. But I don't think if it's a bad habit, yeah. That's all I can say. It's a good habit in some way and to some people, but it's a bad habit in other way to some other people. So it's all about you striking a balance and having your way out of it. Yeah? Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the present, perfect it and own it. Nitarudia hiyo. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the present, perfect, and own it. It's been a nice session. Thank you for listening once again. Go on our social media platforms and subscribe. YouTube is Just a Pod. Twitter is @JustAPod. Instagram is @JustAPod, yet to be opened. And on Anchor, it's anchor.fm/Ivusa-Timothy. On Spotify also, the same. Yeah, let me know about the topics you'd like us to tackle. And if you want to have a session, you're welcome. That's just another habit. Habits. No habits infested, but perfectly blessed with a status you can F with. Until next time, have a blessed day. Signing out.